National Treasures, Culture Bearers, and National Parks, which is a national program organized by our longstanding partner with the Lowell Folk Fest, the National Council for the Traditional Arts. Lowell is a wonderful place to celebrate how national parks support and promote our diverse cultural heritage, as well as the partnerships essential to doing so. Here at Lowell National Historical Park, the National Park Service has been honored to play a role in Yary's work. In 2012, we partnered with Yary and Middlesex Community College as Yary built a Cambodian-style wood-fire kiln on NPS land adjacent to our maintenance facility to help ensure that this centuries-old art form can continue and flourish. I'd also like to recognize before we begin and say thank you to the Cambodian Mutual Assistance Association and Angkor Dance Troupe. These are also two long-term park partners, and they work every day in Lowell to strengthen and build community through programs that improve the quality of life throughout the city and preserve Cambodian culture. With that, I'm going to introduce Laura Bottinelli, Executive Director of the National Council for the Traditional Arts, to share more about our gathering this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to see so many people here this evening at the Lowell National Historical Park, and thank you to the park for hosting us to have this honor and celebration. The event is being recorded for video, audio, and still photography for archival and community research purposes. I'm with the National Council for the Traditional Arts, a 90-year-old nonprofit dedicated to presenting the documentation of folk and traditional arts in the United States. We're deeply proud of our relationship with the National Park Service that spans over 5 decades, and as Julie mentioned, our work with the Lowell Folk Festival. Last year, we launched a new program with our friends at the National Park Service, National Treasures, a tour of culture bearers in national parks, which has been generously supported by the Sage Foundation. This is a pilot program for the 2026 United States Semi-Quincentennial. The program showcases the nation's most distinguished cultural ambassadors at signature national parks, and it features recipients of the National Endowment for the Arts' prestigious National Heritage Fellowship, which is the highest honor awarded in folk and traditional arts in the country. So tonight we get to honor our distinguished artist and friend and 2015 National Heritage Fellow, Yary Livan, here in his home community of Lowell, Massachusetts, on this first day of Cambodian Heritage Month, in a city that has the second largest Cambodian population in the United States. We're so pleased not only to recognize Lokru Yary Livan, but also the Cambodian cultural community here in Lowell. Our evening will have several installments of traditional Cambodian dance, remarks from friends, and of course the reception and music that you've already been enjoying in the lobby. To start our evening, the Angkor Dance Troupe will begin with the Blessing Dance. Angkor Dance is one of the most important organizations in the Cambodian diaspora dedicated to preserving and teaching Cambodian classical and folk dance to generations of young people. 35 years ago, Angkor Dance Troupe was established when Lokru Tim Tu, who's here this evening, and a passionate group of Cambodian refugees came together in Lowell with the sole purpose to revive a culture almost lost. Their impact and contributions to the community were felt recently with the loss of Davitron Pech. As we begin, we acknowledge and are grateful for the leaders of this community who have come here before in service to the Cambodian community of Lowell. The Blessing Dance. Kroon, the Executive Director of Angkor Dance Troupe, who's going to share an overview of Yary Livan.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Before I share LaCroix accomplishment and contributions and accolades, I wanted to just give you a little bit understanding of the blessing dance. Traditionally, it was danced in the Royal Palace, and it was really only exclusively to prominent, of course, dignitaries and all of that. So it's a real blessing for you to be able to do that. And I wanted to say you've all been blessed. You'll have peace, prosperity, and good health. So all of you. So I'm very privileged and really honored to be presenting LaCroix to you. And as you know, the word LaCroix means teacher. LaCroix is perhaps of only 3 Cambodian master ceramists to have survived the 1975 Khmer Rouge genocide, and the only one known to be living in the US, where he shared his artistic knowledge with the next generation through classes and apprenticeship. LaCroix began his studies in 1971 at the Royal University of Fine Arts in the capital city of Phnom Penh, where he majored in ceramics and painting and focused on traditional Khmer ceramic form and ornamentation. In 1975, the Khmer Rouge regime, led by Pol Pot, took power in Cambodia and began a systematic genocide primarily targeting artists, writers, and intellectuals, and ultimately killing 2 million Cambodians. LaCroix survived by his knowledge of ceramics to build wood burning kiln needed to manufacture roof tile. He spends most of the 1980s and 1990s moving from one refugee camp to another, arriving in the US 2001, and was granted political asylum in 2002. LaCroix became a visiting artist in ceramic program, Office for the Arts at Harvard. That year, he received the Mima Weizmann Award for the study of ceramic arts. Since 2005, LaCroix have taught ceramic classes at several Lowell schools. In 2012, LaCroix received the Massachusetts Council Artist Fellowship and also became an adjunct professor at Middlesex Community College. In 2012, LaCroix partnered with longtime and fellow ceramist Kang Prong to build a wood kiln, which was mentioned before, wood kiln, using space provided by the Lowell National Historical Park in partnership with Middlesex Community College. In 2016, LaCroix Yary was commissioned to build the first Khmer refugees monument at the Lowell City Hall. After months of preparation, the Khmer Refugee Monument was built in 2017 on the grounds of JFK Plaza in front of City Hall. It remembers and honors the life lost during the Cambodian genocide. LaCroix has made connection through diverse community members throughout his illustrious career. In 2003, LaCroix began teaching at Youth Art in Action, an after-school program for urban youth at School of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. He was co-teaching with founder Margaret Rack. When the program achieved the 2005 National Art and Humanity Youth Program Award, formerly known as Coming Up Teller, from the President Committee on the Arts and Humanities. At this time, I would like to invite Ms. Rack to say a few words to LaCroix.
Friends and fans of Yary. Yary and I met 22 years ago when myself and 2 teenage Cambodian American young women went to recruit him from Harvard to teach in our youth art program at the Museum School in Boston. That was the beginning of our journey in art and our friendship. I want to address these remarks directly to Yary. I didn't think he'd be behind me. Thank you, Yary, for being my lifelong friend. I've learned so much from you and had fun along the way. You may have heard the expression, building a plane while flying it, in many ways that fits you. You always have big vision for your art projects, from 100 pots to Bayan statues to kiln building. You are never daunted by trying new methods and techniques and to make the best art imaginable, whether it's mold making or smoke-free kilns. You don't give up, you find a way. You are always intent on sharing your knowledge of the beautiful forms of Cambodian art and culture. Not just to preserve them like a fossil, but to inspire and to heal communities. As you know, art speaks in ways words can't, reaching deep into our souls. Watching you make your art, experimenting with your new glazes and colors, new combinations of forms, incorporating new ideas, while at the same time holding true to traditional shapes and designs. We were also witnessing you adapting to life in a new country, while caring deeply about the country you had left behind. What aspects of culture were so dear and essential to seek to hold on to? What assimilation was necessary to survive and thrive? The new art forms are like a metaphor for what immigrant and refugee communities were building. Thank you for that. We had fun along the way. I remember when we brought a group of Middlesex students on a study tour to Cambodia. The students were determined to kick it with the local young people. And they thought they could do it at a dance club, like in the US, right? But we knew that wasn't safe, you know. So you gathered your nieces and your nephews from Phnom Penh and reserved a space for a private party at a karaoke, and a van to safely transport everyone. The next morning at breakfast, there were bleary-eyed, happy students. Your careful, thoughtful energy and attention that you put into the trip ensured that the students got a sense of real life, not just tourist attractions. By the way, I skipped that, stayed at the hotel. Your teaching is transformative and deeply humanistic. This summer, you'll help guide another group of teachers to Cambodia on a Fulbright with Middlesex Community College, and they are very lucky to have your guidance. I had to come today. I was dismayed to learn that your artwork would only be on display for this event. Make sure you translate this part. Somebody give this guy a proper retrospective. His art deserves it. A retrospective allows the contemplation of the whole arc of a life's work, so it can be more deeply understood for its place in history and for its meaning to communities. Put it in context. Please gather examples of some of the best Cambodian ceramics from the few who are also determined to continue and contemporize the art form. Do this while you're in Cambodia, guys. Bring it back this summer. Thank you again, Yary, for being my lifelong friend, colleague, and teacher. A kuncharan, chumrik lia.
So we have many fans in the room, but we also have many very special people that would like to honor Lokru. So in no particular no particular order. Thank you, Simone. We'll start with Mayor Chow, please.
ចាជាដំបូងពួកយើងសូមណែនាំអភិបាលក្រុង Lowell គឺលោក Sakari ចា
សួស្តីជំរាបសួរបងប្អូនអរគ្នា Happy Cambodian Heritage Month to everyone here in this room. It is such an honor for me to be here, so I don't feel right standing up here by myself. I'm going to ask Lokru, please stand next to me. Because he is such a legend, and I think the professor and everyone here and my colleagues afterward, they're going to say so many wonderful things about you. So I'm going to speak from my heart, but I think before I start, I want to acknowledge a couple of people here who are wearing different hats. They're also from Senator Ed Kennedy's office, and Dominic Lay is also serving on the school committee with me as well. Dominic Lay. And also James Ostes as well. And all of you here are very important. Thank you for being here. The reason I say that all of you, if I take the time to acknowledge everyone's going to take forever for me to acknowledge it. Just the fact that you're here, that you are celebrating our culture, our history, that's very, very meaningful to every single Cambodian in this room and to every single Cambodian in the city. So thank you all for being here. When I read what I want to say about Lokru Yary, I found out that he just came to the United States in 2001, as Borda mentioned. Most of the Cambodians arrived here in the United States as refugees in the early 1980s. And I think when he first came, the people spoke to him, welcome you. And I think one of the first statements that you said was, I love clay. And I think that says it all about a person that really spoke from the heart. And what that really means to me, it took him a little bit longer to come to Lowell, to make Lowell his home. And that's because he had to carry the entire Cambodian history and culture inside him. So thank you for being here. And when we talk about clay and ceramics, and if you look at the history of Cambodia, and everything from architecture to structure of the Angkor Wat, the lifestyle, the history to everyday living. And as Bora said, a lot of those things, we think about those are expensive things that only royal family or the rich people can use, but in reality, ceramic is integrated into every fabric of the community, of our society, from royal families to successful people to farmers and peasants. We use clay and ceramics for kitchenware, for transportation, it's just every aspect of the Cambodian culture. And to have a person, a master of ceramic that really understands the material, the artistic value, to make ceramics art a living culture, a living history in the city, it's very, very special. And I truly believe that when Yary said that, to protect a country, you need guns, you need weapons, but to protect culture and to protect history, you need art. And I believe Yary is really the protector of the Cambodian culture, the Cambodian art, and the Cambodian history. So I thank you so much for making your art to be part of our life here in America. I have prepared a citation for you, Lokru. This is signed by myself. It's prepared by many people in the community, and I could not fit everything inside the citation. But we took a long time to prepare this. It's signed by myself, and it is signed by the entire city council. So on behalf of the entire city, I would like to present this citation to you.
Good evening, everyone. It's so great to be with you all today to celebrate an icon. He is an icon, and it's fitting that we're here at the iconic Lowell National Historic Park here in the city of Lowell. We are pleased, my colleagues and I, Rep. Mom and Rep. Elliott, here to recognize the only master ceramicist that we know of here in the world, a living one, and for his honor of the National Heritage Fellow. the National Living Treasure, it is fitting that he being recognized for this achievement, for his contribution in preserving our nation's cultural heritage for us now, here, in 2023, but also for our youth, for our future, for many years to come. So his work, if you have seen the display of his work out here in the main room, but if you have not been to City Hall, if you're new to the city of Lowell, there is a Cambodian refugee monument outside City Hall, Bora mentioned. We commissioned the Cambodian Refugee Monument Committee, we commissioned Yary to build the monument to honor and remember the Cambodian lives that were lost during the genocide, and to also honor the people that survived the genocide. If you have not seen the monument, please, I highly recommend that you go and check out his work. It is the most busiest place. Anytime anyone comes from all over the world, when they come, the first place they want to go and see is the Cambodian Refugee Monument that's right now outside City Hall. So in honor of this recognition to this icon that we have standing before us, the Massachusetts House of Representatives has a citation to present to him to honor this major recognition to Mr. Livan. So let me read the citation. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Yary Livan in recognition of your accomplishments as a National Heritage Fellow and Cultural Ambassador for the Cambodian community in Lowell and across the nation. Your excellence in your profession and your selflessness in spreading an appreciation for Cambodian culture are truly deserving of the recognition. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this first day of April 2023, by Ronald Mariano, Speaker of the House, offered by me, Vanna Howard, State Representative, and also State Representative Roddy Mom, State Representative Elliott. Congratulations.
Good evening, everybody. It was 2014, and I had just been sworn in as the mayor of the city of Lowell. And shortly thereafter, as Representative Howard mentioned, the city council adopted a commission to build a Cambodian monument, similar to many monuments at City Hall. I took it as a personal task to bring members of the community together. As the mayor, I traveled to Cambodia. I was the first mayor to travel to Cambodia, and it was an amazing experience. So much that I went back a second time. And we've learned so much traveling over and experiencing and not only hearing the plight of so many Cambodians here in Lowell, but also their families in Cambodia. The committee met weekly, and there were representatives from across the city. It had been 30 to 40 years since Cambodians came to Lowell, and I thought it was important to represent the community as so many other communities that came to Lowell. You've heard so many wonderful stories about Yary as a person, his journey. and how he came to Lowell. You've heard all the recognitions that he has received, all the accolades, all the awards. I want to tell you my experience with Yary on an effort that seemed that it couldn't be accomplished. There were so many different ideas for the monument. There was so much input. Sometimes contentious, sometimes not, but we stayed the course, and as Representative Howard mentioned, there were a number of artists that was interested, but Yary's presentation to the committee, the images, the message, and what stands right now in front of City Hall is an amazing story. And I can also attest when visitors, not just from Cambodia, but so many visitors come, they see the monument, the images, and they're taken aback. And that's the message that Yary brought to this. I can tell you, Vanna and I, we worked very hard on this together. We didn't think it was going to happen. We had to raise money. The monument cost over $50,000, and that's a drop in the bucket for what this man, the time and effort he put into it. But it's an amazing monument. It's one of my proudest accomplishments that we did together. But it started his dedication. We didn't have a place to build it. We didn't have any money to build it. But we had the image and we had the wherewithal. The group was inspired by Yary when we commissioned him, and he started it in his cellar. And Vanna and I would go and visit, and we'd go during lunch or during work, and Vanna would go downstairs on a ladder, in her dress, ready to go. We're going to go see the progress of this. And he worked day in and day out, winter, summer, fall, to first create the mold. Maybe he can tell you the process. It's so complicated, but it was so well worth it. And I'm just proud that I was able to be a part of it and to make that happen. When we finally poured, when we poured the statue, it was at my in-laws in their yard, and it was. Well, it was kind of touch and go, wasn't it, all the way through Yary? There was a lot of praying going on, but thank you for letting me be part of it. Thank you for allowing me to watch your masterwork on certainly this monument that will be in front of City Hall from now till the end of time to tell those visitors that come to Lowell the plight of the Cambodians and the amazing achievements that they overcame to come here. So, thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, it is truly an honor to be here on behalf of all you and my colleagues. I've spoken. The many of you who spoke about this wonderful man. You see, 2001, Yary landed in Cambodia, in Lowell, which is Cambodia. And that's how I feel. I remember meeting this humble man that obviously speak no language, which we speak the English language. But I remember meeting with some Khan and Sukhu, and there was the three of us where we met him for the very first time. The humble part about this amazing man is that even just now when I walked in to see him, when he greeted us outside, just about, I guess, 15 minutes ago, the first thing he says to me is that, how can I make this not just a legacy? How can I bring this project all the way back to our hometown of Cambodia? How can I bring the Kim that was created here in Lowell back to Cambodia? So this is the man who is selfless in thinking about saving not just himself, but the identities of Cambodia through his art. And that is a selfless man. For that, I want to say congratulations, Drew. We are all here to honor you for the man that you are, and we are so proud to have you, not anywhere but in the great city of Lowell. So thank you for your selflessness of dedicating your life to Cambodian art that you can share to the entire culture, but also to the many young men and women that will carry on your legacy. I promise you that it will not die on. Again, congratulations. Thank you.
State Senator Ed Kennedy, he could not be here to join us this evening, so he asked me to be here presenting a citation on his behalf. And I am his district director. As Mayor Sukari said, I'm also serving on the... I just want to say that he, Mr. Yary Livan, not only that he teach Cambodian arts, sculpture and clay and pottery, but he also, by doing so, he teaches Cambodian culture to the world and to the next generation. For that, I congratulate for your. I really want to thank you actually for what you have done, and therefore the citation recognize that.
I wasn't planning on this, but so is this on? Okay. Yes, and I thought, Dominic, you were going to have me translate for you. So, so on behalf of Senator Ed Kennedy, here is an official citation from the Massachusetts State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Yary Livan in recognition of your dedication to the preservation of Cambodian culture and acknowledgement by the National Council for the Traditional Arts. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. It is signed by the President of the Senate, Karen E. Spilka, the Clerk of the Senate, Michael D. Hurley, and it is offered by State Senator Edward J. Kennedy of Lowell on this April 1st, 2023.
The group will say a few words. Actually, he can take all the time he wants.
ជាបឋមខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបសួរអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលជាភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសបានចូលរួមនៅកម្មវិធីដ៏គួរឲ្យរំភើបនៅយប់នេះហើយខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់សហគមន៍យើងនៅទីក្រុងឡូនឹងទាំងអស់ទាំងខ្មែរទាំងគ្រប់សញ្ជាតិដែលបានរស់នៅជុំគ្នាដែលទីក្រុងមួយដែលរីកចម្រើនខុសប្លែកពី20ឆ្នាំមុនដែលខ្ញុំមកដល់ព្រាមហើយនឹងមកដល់ឥឡូវគឺថាឡូទីក្រុងឡូយើងនឹងមានការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរជាច្រើននេះគឺថាខ្ញុំរំភើបក្រៃលែងហើយសំខាន់គឺនៅក្នុងទីក្រុងឡូនេះក៏ផ្ដល់កិត្តិយសនិងផ្ដល់ឱកាសឲ្យខ្ញុំហើយខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណពីខាងដើមគឺមានសមាគមខ្មែរតាំងពីនៅ Jackson Street ដែលបានផ្សព្វផ្សាយថាខ្ញុំជាសិល្បករដែលមកពីដល់ពីស្រុកខ្មែរដែលរួចផុតពីការកាប់សម្លាប់របស់ខ្មែរក្រហមពេលនោះខ្ញុំក៏បានមានប្រជាជន ដែលមានចិត្តទូលាយដែលស្រឡាញ់សិល្បៈបានជួយជ្រោមជ្រែងខ្ញុំជាច្រើនជាពិសេសលោកស្រី Nancy Selwick គាត់ជា Director នៅ Harvard ពីចំនួននោះគាត់ retire គាត់នៅអង្គុយខាងលើគាត់ដាក់ឃើញទេគាត់បានផ្ដល់ដែល 2-year scholarship ឲ្យខ្ញុំចូលរួមនៅក្នុង clay program នៅក្នុង University នៅ Harvard ហើយនឹងថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់អ្នកស្រី Margaret ដែលបានជួយទំនុកបម្រុងខ្ញុំជួយដល់បង្ហាញផ្លូវខ្ញុំដើម្បីឲ្យបងខ្ញុំមានឱកាសបានបង្រៀនឲ្យក្មេងៗខ្មែរនៅជុំវិញ Lowell នៅជុំវិញទីក្រុង Boston after school បានចូលមករៀននៅក្នុង program public program art program នៅ Museum of Fine Art ហើយគាត់នឹងជាមិត្តភក្តិរហូតដល់តែសប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃគាត់ជួយខ្ញុំទំនុកបម្រុងខ្ញុំជួយផ្ដល់នៅគំនិតជួយផ្ដល់យោបល់ជាច្រើនហើយសំខាន់ខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់Middlesex College ទាំងអស់ជាបុគ្គលិករហូតតាំងពីដើមដែលខ្ញុំចូលបង្រៀនតាំងពីឆ្នាំ2012រហូតដល់សប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃគឺ Middlesex College បើកឱកាសឲ្យខ្ញុំបានបង្រៀននិងចែកចាយតម្រេះវិជ្ជារបស់ខ្ញុំនឹងទៅដល់ក្មេងសកលក្រោយហើយនឹងរួមសហការជាមួយនឹង National Park ដែលបានជួយខ្ញុំឲ្យបានកសាងឡដែលខ្ញុំសម័យតាំងពីមុនខ្ញុំមកដល់អាមេរិកថាខ្ញុំនឹងបង្កើតឡមួយជាកុសលល្អខ្ញុំបានបង្កើតមួយបានសម្រេចដោយបំណងហើយជាពិសេសហ្នឹងគឺខ្ញុំថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់ភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសពីខាងទីក្រុង Lowell លោកសខារីជូលោករ៉ាឌីម៉ុំលោកអេលៀតរ៉ាឌនីអេលៀតហើយនឹងអ្នកស្រីវ៉ាណាហើយនឹងជាទាំងអស់ខ្ញុំមិនអាចចាំឈ្មោះបានទាំងអស់ទេហើយខ្ញុំសូមទោសដែលខ្ញុំអត់បានចាំទាំងអស់ហើយជាពិសេសគឺខ្ញុំថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់អ្នកស្រី Maggie ដែលគាត់ជាធ្វើការនៅ MCC នៅ Boston ដែលគាត់កាន់ខាងនឹង traditional art program ដែលគាត់ជាអ្នកដែលគាត់អ្នក nominate ខ្ញុំដើម្បីឲ្យបានរង្វាន់ពីឆ្នាំ2015គាត់ក៏ជាអ្នកដែលជួយខ្ញុំខ្លាំងណាស់ដែរហើយដែលចុងក្រោយបំផុតដែលទាំងអស់គ្នានឹងគឺខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់ក្រុមគ្រួសាររបស់ខ្ញុំដែលមានឱកាសជាពិសេសប្រពន្ធខ្ញុំនាងណារីគាត់បានជួយខ្ញុំអ្វីគ្រប់យ៉ាងគាត់ជួយខ្ញុំទាំងអស់ខ្ញុំនឹងថាពីមានគំនិតដែលធ្វើសិល្បៈការទំនាក់ទំនងអីនៅលើគាត់ជួយណែនាំជួយឲ្យយោបល់សពបែបសពយ៉ាងខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណទាំងអស់ដល់ក្រុមគ្រួសារខ្ញុំនិងកូនចៅទាំងអស់ដែលបានយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ហើយនឹងភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសទាំងអស់ជាពិសេសកូនសិស្សទាំងអស់ដែលបានស្គាល់ខ្ញុំនៅទីនេះគឺថាខ្ញុំនិយាយរួមមកគឺថ្លែងទាំងអស់គុណទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទ
អរគុណច្រើនលោកគ្រូ Hello everyone, this is Lukru Yary Livan himself, and thank you everyone, guests, special guests as well, for attending this exciting opportunity and program tonight. Thank you to the Lowell community, Khmer and all, and Lukru Yary wants to recognize that Lowell as a city has grown so much and has changed so much in the past 20 years. Notably, Lowell has given Lukru many opportunities to showcase his work within the Khmer community in Lowell. Thank you especially to CMAA for recognizing his work as a surviving master ceramicist who has escaped from the Khmer Rouge genocide from the start. Thank you as well to his many supporters, especially Ms. Nancy, I'm so sorry I did not catch your last name, who's in attendance on the upper level balcony, for providing Lukru Yary with a 2-year scholarship to Harvard University Ceramics program. Thank you as well to Ms. Margaret for allowing Lukru to teach at public schools, as well as to showcase his work at the Boston's Museum of Fine Arts. Margaret also happens to be Lukru's lifelong friend. Thank you as well to NCC for supporting Lukru since 2012 and for allowing Lukru to teach the next generation of artists, as well as allowing for collaboration opportunities like this to happen, for example with the Lowell National Historical Park. Thank you to NPS for allowing Lukru to establish a studio as well as a Cambodian-style kiln, again on Aiken Street. Thank you as well to special guests, Representatives Vanna Howard, Mayor Chow, Representative Radima, Representative Rodney Elliott, for attending tonight. Thank you to Margie, for nominating Margie. I'll let you say it. For nominating Lukru for the 2015 National Heritage Fellowship Award. And finally, thank you to Lukru's family, especially his wife, Neming Nari, for supporting his work and assisting him in networking within our community. And thank you to his students, and thank you to everyone for being here tonight.
And tonight is extra special because 3 of Lukru Yary's grandchildren are dancing on stage. So